Conditional probability worked example. You have an upcoming math test. From your past experience, you know that the probability that you study and get a good grade for math is 0.6, and that the probability that you'll study for any test is 0.8. So what is the probability that you'll get a good grade given that you studied for the test? Now this question revolves around the concept of conditional probability. So for an event A and B, where event A occurs after event B has occurred, the conditional probability of A given B is given by the following formula. So the probability that A occurs, given that B has already occurred, can be written as the probability of A's intersection with B over the probability that event B has occurred. And this vertical line over here is conditional. It means that A occurs given that B has occurred. So from this question, we know that from our past experience, the probability that you study and get a good grade is 0.6. And the probability that you'll study is 0.8. So let's model this situation so that we can use this equation with it. So let G be the event that we get a good grade. And we let S be the event that we studied. So the probability that we're interested in is the probability that we get a good grade given that we studied for the test. This is going to be equal to the probability that we have a good grade and that we studied over the probability that we studied for the test. So the probability that we get a good grade and studied is given over here in the question. It's 0.6. So this is the probability that you study and get a good grade. So we can already plug this number in over here, 0.6. And over here at the bottom, we know that the probability that we'll study for the test is 0.8. So this is equal to 6 over 8, which is equal to 3 over 4, or 0.75. So the probability that we get a good grade, given that we studied for our math test, is equal to 0.75. So that seems quite nice. It's more than a half. And it means that if we study for our test, the probability that we don't get a good grade, so the complement of a good grade, given that we studied, is only 0.25, because it's equal to 1 minus the probability that we got a good grade, given that we studied. So that means that we have a 75% chance of getting a good grade, given that we studied for the math test.